Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, here we are on Thursday, April 25th. We're going to take a look at Snap today. So with earnings coming up, I thought we'd come see where some support resistance levels might lie and where this might sort of settle based off of earnings. Now, if you have a prediction, a guesstimate, feel free to put that in the comments below. Sometimes it's fun to see how right or wrong we all are, and just sort of, put it in writing, if you will. Now, I've covered 834 all the way up to 1786. Hopefully that's enough ground to cover. I know that we can have some wild reactions here with some of these stocks. You see one right here, right off of the last earnings. This was down this day 34.61%. Since then, just sort of been consolidating, maybe slightly down. It tried to swing up here, but then trickled back down, made a lower low, then the low over here. So we'll see, sort of wrestling between that 1163 level to the upside and that 1040 to the downside. So those are the nearest in support and resistance levels that I have. Now, if it gets further dippy, 984, 891, and 834, yeah, that is as far as I went for now. Now, if it rises above 1163 or jumps it all together, gaps up, 1235, 1289, 1349, 1466, 1587 and 1786. You see just shy of this swing high up here at 1790. So obviously there's a large gap here, which is largely unfilled. So we'll see if it wants to make any approach or attempt at that, or sort of how things play out. Obviously, it's sold off quite a bit since the last earnings, so it'll also be interesting to see how folks feel, on par or reasonably bad, reasonably good news is already priced in, or if they feel that the reaction was overdone, right? That it was just an overreaction, and that it didn't deserve to get beaten down this much, how much folks pull it back up. So it'll be interesting to see, with such a move, it had such a run up prior to those earnings, and then it dropped. So, these big reactions based off of, big lead-ins are quite interesting. Now, to the degree to which it's moved relatively sideways since the last earnings, it'll be sort of largely a question of the reaction of last earnings. Does that sentiment persist based off of what folks see in the report this time around? Should be something, a sight to behold, maybe. Also, on the TTM squeeze indicator, we see, if we take these sort of very brief fires out of here, a pretty lengthy trigger as it's been, like we said, moving relatively sideways right along the mid-range of the channel. So we'll see if that's about to set off some explosive moves, or how the sort of chart digests that as well. Now, it is, like I said, situated mid-range of the channel. I always like these setups, mid-range of the channel. It's been triggering, but the question is always, which way is it going to go, right? So if it does hit the bounds of the channel or pushes through either of them, I'll just mention where they are right now in case these levels come into play. The upper bound of the channel right now, 1225. So it may hit some resistance there if it is moving within the channel. If it does just a pure gap up, it may skip it all together, pop itself out up above there. And then same thing to the downside, 1003 right now. And so we'll see if it does dip, mildly or somewhat, and doesn't fully gap down. If it does dip, if it catches any support right along that 1003 level, or if it does, like I said, jump and pop itself way out of the channel like it did down here and had to just sort of move sideways to sidestep its way back into the channel. All right, folks, hope that your trading week has been going well, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.